What's up, everybody? It's the main man Jaguar coming out swinging with another video, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Omnibus of Hellblazer by Garth Ennis. So y'all check it out. Man, Alright, so the book that I'll be reviewing today is this one. This is Hellblazer by Garth Ennis, okay? So this collects number 41 through 50, and then 52 through 83, 129 through 33, and then it also contains a couple one-shots and stuff by Garth Ennis. So it pretty much collects everything by Garth Ennis, alright? And when I was looking around to see what book I should read, most people recommended that I read the Garth Ennis stuff, and I was already a Garth Ennis fan from the beginning because I've read The Preacher Story, and I was a very big fan of it. And then this is also has half the art in here is by Steve Dillon, and then a lot of the front covers, as you can see here, are by Glenn Fabry. The rest of the art, especially at the beginning, is by Will Simpson, and it's pretty good stuff, man. Let me take the dust cover off here. All right, and right here you can see some more Glenn Fabry art. On the back, Hellblazer. It's DC Black Label is where this omnibus was printed at, but this was originally printed on the Vertigo label. All right, it's a pretty big book. It's over 1,000 pages long, and it took me quite a bit to get to read it, but it was very fun to read. Very fun to read. So John Constantine, all right. John Constantine originally appeared in Swamp Thing comics, right? I forget which issue it was. I know he did a cameo in 125 where he just looked like Sting from the Police, and then he showed up again, first full appearance. I think it was like 35 or 36 or something like that, and then he got his own series, Volume 1, and then later on in the series, on issue 41, Garth Ennis, who was really young at the time, he was 19, 20, young writer from Britain, came over and started writing John Constantine, all right? And I absolutely loved it. I loved it. The book takes a little bit longer to read because it's very wordy. There's a lot of conversation pieces in there and stuff. And I kind of compare this kind of work if you enjoy Quentin Tarantino, because I feel like Garth Ennis, in a way, he's like the Quentin Tarantino of comics, and the fact that there's a lot of conversation, and then there's suddenly some abrupt violence and brutal, and it's just unapologetic, and then it's also got some dark humor in there as well. So I really appreciated all that, man. I really enjoyed the art. The art was great. Will Simpson did about the first half of the book as well. But you really started seeing the chemistry click when Steve Dillon jumped on, and you started seeing the take a different beat, and it got a little bit more bold, and you can just kind of tell that these guys were just kind of like spitballing ideas off of each other as well. Overall, the story is very brutal, very dark, a lot of suffering going on, but there's also like some breaks in there. You have like a couple one-shots in there. You have a couple issues where it's just one issue with just John Constantine chilling, and it's full of humor, lightheartedness, just drinking and stuff like that, and I really like that part, you know, especially because it starts off with John Constantine finding out that he has cancer, and this is kind of already like bad news already to begin with, and John Constantine's kind of a very complicated character. You can tell he's very guarded, but he's also like a lot of self-loathing, and he's kind of a weasel, to be honest. He's very clever though, and I really like that fact that he also recognizes that he has weaknesses. He's not a great fighter, but he's a slippery person, you know. John Constantine is cynical, he's sarcastic, he's very self-loathing, like I said before, and he uses the weaknesses of demons, right? Their greed, their vanity, all that stuff. I really like what he does that. And he's just not afraid to indulge into his vices as well. And that's where it brought him to the point where, you know, he got lung cancer and stuff. And I really like how he was able to get out of that one. And overall, I really like the arcs. They all have like, it's kind of like a spooky story after spooky story after spooky story, and then you'll get a break in there, and then we'll get into a different arc. The last arc was Rake at the Gates of Hell, and I really enjoyed that arc because I was so invested in that, because everything was piling onto John Constantine, where I felt like, dude, I had no idea, how's this dude gonna get out of this? It doesn't seem like, I was so invested in the story that I was actually worried about John Constantine actually making it out of the story, even though I know eventually he makes it. But it's just so good that the build up, that it was just kind of like fun trying to guess how he's gonna get himself out of this one. And overall, it was a very satisfying ending as well. All right, and I felt like this book, you can really tell that they laid out the groundwork for Preacher series. You can tell that a lot of these ideas were carried on into the next, into the Preacher series from here. A lot of the concepts from here. In a way, I feel like Jesse Custer from Preacher was pretty much based off of John Constantine, even though there's still different characters in their own right, but you can start seeing a lot of similarities between those characters. And honestly, you know, if you enjoyed Preacher, then I would recommend this run. And if you already read this Hellblazer, then I recommend Preacher. And they're very similar works. So yeah, that's it for my review on this book, man. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. Definitely gonna give it, I don't know, 4 out of 5 if we go by a grading system. I just wish that it was more Steve Dillon, I guess, and I would, the only other thing that I would kind of nitpick at it, but even though it's just a me problem, is that sometimes with the slang, the way it's written, first of all, it's very well written. Like, I can't believe that Garth Ennis was only 19 or 20 years old when he wrote this, but a lot of it's like written in the way they talk over there in, you know, in Britain, in England and stuff, like in London, and a lot of it's kind of hard to read. I think you would be able to get through it pretty well if you understand like the lingo in London, or if you have a very good accent, British accent. I myself do not have a good British accent, so I kind of struggled to read some of it, and I had to reread a few bubbles over and over to kind of get the gist of what they were doing. So yeah, man, that's the only thing, but I feel like that's just more of a me problem. But yeah, man, that's my only small nitpicks on that. And that's it for my review for Hellblazer by Garth Ennis. If you guys have read it, let me know and check it out. And if you guys got any other recommendations based off of this, let me know. Next on the list is going to be the Bronze Age Swamp Thing. It's going to be what I'm going to be jumping into. I still got to read the second part by Alan Moore as well, which is where John Constantine makes his first full appearance. I believe I'm only like 1 issue or 2 issues behind that first appearance. So now I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing the first appearance of John Constantine. So with that being said, man, you guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep doing me. And yeah, you guys stay up. All right, peace.
Finish him. Fatality. Flawless victory.